Привет! Et vileva Vashna. Another thing I love about Paris is the landmarks. As you can see behind me, we're on the Avenue Champs-Élysées. Behind me is Arc de Triomphe. When you're in Paris, you have to go to as many landmarks as you can, and there's many to visit. But also the transportation system can be a bit tricky. I've been buying individual tickets, so it's actually cost me a lot of money, and it's wasted a lot of my time because I've always been stuck in queues in the metro stations. So what my advice would be is buy the tickets bundles of 10. When you have 10 tickets, you'll be able to use this for your 4 or 5 day trip if you make 2 or 3 trips in a day, which will probably be useful to visit all the landmarks in this beautiful city. When you're traveling in a place like Paris, you need an expert local to show you the city. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go on a free walking tour, and let's check it out and see if it's any good. Valentine, could you tell me a little bit about your great free walking tour?
The free walking tours, there are tips about it tours. They are, they work really easily. So no register needed. You just come at the hour just written on the website. We offer seven free tours actually. You come, you enjoy with your guide, which is always born and raised Parisian. That's pretty well know the places, and you just follow him for 1 hour and a half. And at the end, you can just tip a little bit and ask him, questions, restaurants to go, and places really fun to enjoy in Paris.
Being a native Parisian, what are your best tips on food, where to eat, and where to stay in Paris?
Okay, so basically, I guess the not typical tips would be kind of living like Parisians, tips for living like Parisians. So, of course, the Parisian people just loves buying a baguette, of course. We are more than 60 million in France. There are 30 million baguettes eaten each day, so it's a big deal. And so do not go to bakery chains like Paul, for example. It's everywhere, everywhere in the world. So just choose a nice bakery, and actually you can just check it out on the facade. There are sometimes you've got on the window, you've got crown. It means that the owner of the place just wants some prices, Parisian or nationwide competition, so the baguette is always good there. Other things, then of course to go with the baguette we need wine, and this I acknowledge you to just buy it at Nicolas. It's a famous store with a red facade, and there are some expensive bottles, but you can find what we call petite récolte, small harvest. It costs you, the bottle not more than €5. And actually it's red wine, it's really good actually. It's better than buying them in mini markets. Okay, what to avoid of restaurants? First, obviously just run away from the big touristic landmarks, because it won't be kind of too expensive for what it is, or too bad for the price actually. So just check it out that the menu outside is in French, otherwise it's a place for tourists, so it will be not that good. So just check it out and check if the menu is not too long, kind of 2 pages of dishes and then 10 pages of wine. It's so wine there's no limit, but for dishes not more than 2 pages. It sounds good. And then if there's many smokers, because many people smokes in France and in Paris also. So if there's many smokers outside, because it's forbidden to smoke in the inside, but if there's many smokers outside or cigarette butts, it's a good sign, because it means that Parisian people love being here. So you definitely have to try it. For coming to Paris, Paris is one of the most touristic cities, so it's the first city in the world in terms of how many rents of Airbnb you have. So I definitely recommend you take Airbnb place. It can be good and you can live with locals, so it's never too bad. And mainly in the center of Paris or in the left bank in the south of Paris, it can be good also. You will be close to everything. The big attractions in Paris are in the center. Avoid the north of Paris, because it's the more recent area, so there's not as many history than in the very center, and the population can be different. It's mostly immigrants, and it's what we refer to mostly the cheaper northern Paris.
One thing I want to talk about is actually the French locals. Parisian people are meant to be very unfriendly and not very nice to talk to. Pretty cold actually. But what I've found is when I've talked to them, they've been very friendly, and they're quite, if you try and speak a bit of French, they will be helpful in telling you some information or some of the best places to go. So I wouldn't be afraid to ask a Parisian person something, but try and learn a little bit of French, and they will normally try and assist you the best they can in terms of helping you go to the best restaurants, or going to not getting, so, for example, if you get lost, they will try and assist you in the directions you want to go to. So we're here under the Eiffel Tower, one of the most romantic places in the whole of the world. As you can see, we've got a lot of tourists here, but also this is the one thing I love about this city and one thing I don't like about this city. The thing I love is the River Seine. If you look here, if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend and you take her along the riverbank in the afternoon or the evening, hire some bicycles, I can imagine this must be a very romantic place to propose to a girlfriend, or take someone and just go for that romantic stroll, the best of your life. But also they've got a lot of people from third world countries here. They sell you like cheap Eiffel Towers, and this is also makes it the place look a little bit cheap as well. So it's a 50-50 split between a very beautiful place and also a place where you think it's a bit of a like third world. This is the biggest tourist trap in France, but maybe one you want or want to avoid. Basically, if you want to go up the Eiffel Tower, it's going to cost you around 17 euros. I think if you're 12 to 24, it's like the 20% discount. If you can see, the queue is right over there, and you're going to be queuing about 40 minutes to an hour. An option that you might like to do is actually walk up the Eiffel Tower. Well, only to the second floor, but it's still walking up the Eiffel Tower. Walk up as an affordable price. You can maybe go here for 7 euros, and also you can avoid the big queues. But I'm going to show you a different place where you get just as great a view of Paris and the Eiffel Tower. So let me show you that. So we're actually here now at Montparnasse. This is actually the biggest building in Paris. You get spectacular views of the whole city. We've actually just talked to a Parisian girl, and she said it's the ugliest building that they've ever built in France, and a lot of Parisians want to tear it down. But it has a view from a restaurant where you can see the whole city. So let's check it out. The actual restaurant is 3 floors below the actual top level. If you want to go to the top level, it's going to cost you 15 euros. If you come to the restaurant, you can buy a coffee for 5-6 euros or Coca-Cola for 8 euros and enjoy this spectacular view. It's a very nice place to see very high-class Parisian French people, so it's not a bad place to spend an afternoon. Another thing I really recommend in Paris, and I've not seen in any other city in the world, is the cafe culture. As you can see behind me, everyone's always out, whether it be 10 AM or 8 PM. And one of the things that really impresses me the most is when you, for example, my city, London, a lot of waiters, people don't respect them. In here, this is like a proper professional job. The way you get a 5-star service, and if you're in Paris, always go to a cafe literally once a day to have a coffee or croissant or pain au chocolat. It's a place to be, definitely. Just it's definitely a place to be to sample the real Parisian lifestyle. I want to give a very good piece of advice to Russian speakers who visit Paris and want to go to the museums. Basically, museums cost a lot of money, but there's a way to get in there for free. Russian speakers look very good and look very young. So you're going to have to pretend you're very young, and you're going to have to pretend you're from the EU. To go to the top of that cathedral costs, I think, 10 euros. But you can go for free if you're under 25 or 26, I can't remember. But say you're from like Hungary, Poland, or one of these countries you think you look like, and you can get in there for free. So, and it's not just this museum you can get in for free. You can get into the Louvre, Museum d'Orsay if you're under 26. If they ask for your passport, say unfortunately you left it in the hotel, I'm really sorry, or make up some excuse and say this is my last day in Paris and I would love to go in. Try and be friendly and charming. This will get you a long way for getting into museums like this and saving you a heck of a lot of money. One thing you've got to be aware of when you're in Paris is the queues. This is a queue for the Notre Dame and you'll be waiting approximately an hour. So be aware, the best time to get here is 9:30 AM and you only be queuing about 20 minutes. So we're in the Louvre. The Mona Lisa actually looks a lot smaller in real life. But what I wanted to add was, on a Friday, you can be any nationality to come here after 6 PM and you can get in for free if you're under 26. So remember, the Louvre on a Friday, you can be any nationality and it's free after 6. Any other day, you have to be part of the European Union, and I explained what you should do in the previous video.